Thank you, Governor Baker. It has been a 40-day exercise of scaling a supply chain for medical products, but it's been a 3-year program of investing in the infrastructure to be able to do it. And I want to thank Governor Baker and his administration. I'd like to thank Carolyn Kirk and Mass Tech. They've been partners for years now. We built a workforce training program that last year put 71 people into full-time jobs in an industry that people had long ago written off. Merrow has been very hopeful and invested in the industry of building soft goods for the last several years in Fall River and New Bedford because we have such remarkable skill and talent in this part of Massachusetts. And I think one of the terrific stories about in what is otherwise a pretty grim time is that the investment that we've made, that other companies have made in Massachusetts are allowing us to lead in the country in the development and the manufacture of PPE. And this is a significant moment where industries that long ago thought that they had been left for dead are now vital. And the investments that are being made in infrastructure, the investments made in plant and equipment, and our programs to help bring people into the workforce are going to make a difference for Massachusetts for a long time to come. And I maintain that this is an opportunity for Massachusetts to become a leader in an industry that needs leadership, and that we're proud to be part of it. We wouldn't be here without our partnership with the Baker administration and with Mass Tech and with the remarkable people who have worked over the last month to help scale this into what is a significant operation. But there are another group of people that need to be thanked, and that is every person who has come to work in this facility over the last 40 days. It is not easy to come to work in an environment where there is a health crisis that is present, and we have worked very hard to keep everyone safe, and they have been safe. But those people who have worked 18-hour days for the last 40 days are the people who have provided the 15,000 garments that we'll be shipping off of the dock today, and are building the millions of gowns that are going to be in the state over the next several months. So my gratitude to them, my gratitude for the staff here that have steered something so successfully, and I would look to everyone to recognize that these long-term partnerships, these commitments from the state and the hospital organizations to build product in the U.S. will allow us to have established a durable and reliable long-term supply chain for isolation gowns to be provided to the entire country. And we're grateful for all those partnerships. And thank you, Governor, once again. I appreciate you coming, and we're very proud to be part of this manufacturing exercise. Thank you so much.
One other thing I just want to say is I had a chance to get a look at 150 years worth of sewing machines that they have in one of the hallways on the way up and down the stairs, and the product has obviously come a really long way over the course of that period of time. But I think it's this family business and Charlie and Owen and the rest of the team's ongoing interest in fabric and design that really makes this possible. Some of the designs that they are working on and some of the ways they're thinking about how you can manufacture these gowns are game changers with respect to their ability to not only supply those gowns to providers in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and elsewhere around the country, but also establish a sustainable way of doing this that's going to be with us for a long time. And I've said several times that I certainly hope one of the main things that comes out of this whole pandemic is a series of learned lessons. And one of the most important lessons that we need to learn as a country and as a Commonwealth is that it's important to have supply lines and supply chains in key industries that are close by. And I think for us, this is a great example of an opportunity to do just that. And I really want to thank the Merrow family for stepping up. Questions for Charlie or for Carolyn or for me?
Can you be more specific about the local impact of this? How much local aid do you see going to the Boston area, Rhode Island, Western Massachusetts?
Well, our order is 2.5 million gowns. So,
Sure. Over the next several months, there will be 3 to 4 million gowns delivered to the Commonwealth and to Rhode Island. We're working closely with a lot of hospitals, coordinating with Mass Tech to make sure that we get things as quickly as possible into the market. But these are long-term relationships, so we'll see probably, I would assume by the end of the year, by the end of 2020, we'll have 4 or 5 million products that are in the Commonwealth and Rhode Island.
And does the funding come from the state, the feds, the hospitals, or a mix?
Well, I want to be clear about this too. Our relationship with the administration is as a provider of product, and we have not asked for any money other than the orders that have come through. So we receive purchase orders and we build to those orders, and that's been part of our relationship, is to be a manufacturer of record and not require any special type of help.
And the orders come from the state, the feds, the hospitals?
All over. So the orders are coming in from the state, they're coming in from private hospitals. We get orders from small organizations that require a little bit of product. So I mean, we were talking earlier about what this looks like, and it looks like orders from 5 to orders of 5 million. And we are working very hard to provide all of them.
Talk about the empty coveralls that you just showed me. I mean, this has the potential to branch into a lot of fields.
Yeah, we have a development and design program where we're working on and delivering every week new products. So we have a coverall that is a reusable coverall and a disposable coverall for the first responders. We have a series of gowns that we've built with increasingly technical fabrics for providers, materials that aren't used in the medical industry right now, to make a more technical and a better product. We have a lot of feedback coming into Merrow from people in the field who are asking for particular types of things, and we're being very responsive to that. So there's an opportunity right now, as the governor says, for this to branch into many, many product categories that are built around a similar supply chain. And I will note that part of that supply chain is a Massachusetts supply chain. A significant amount of the gowns that will be coming into Massachusetts are actually from fabrics that are being developed and built in Massachusetts. So this is very much a Massachusetts manufacturing story.
One of the reasons why you can go to other countries with PPE is costs, labor costs. It costs a lot less to produce it out in China than here. How do you compete with that and paying anybody here?
We provide product when the borders close. I think we are, how do we compete? We are a reliable and durable supply chain that will be here regardless of what happens outside of the borders. And there is no question that our product is much more expensive to build than a product that's built in China. What it is available right now to hospitals. And I think that when we revisit and we look at the policies that need to be discussed and implemented after COVID, part of it is going to contemplate how healthcare systems and how states can have a reliable source of essential medical products when there's a disruption at the ports. And I think Merrow's role is not to build the least expensive product. It's to build a product that is better than the quality that can be made available otherwise, and here regardless of what's going on outside the ports.
So you see this as being a foreign challenge?
We do, and I think we were talking about it earlier. There are many people are generously participating in the building of PPE, and I think that all of them deserve a tremendous amount of recognition. But there's something that's fundamentally different in our approach. We've stood up an entire line of medical products. We put a team together to develop, design, and build them to pass the strictest certification requirements by the FDA, and we consider it a significant investment in a business that will be here for a long time. We also understand, and I think this is something which makes Merrow different in our approach. The supply chain isn't just what we have in Fall River. It is the yarn and the fabrics that need to be developed and built. These fabrics are not available in infinite supply, and Merrow has consumed many of them, many of the yards that exist. To have a reliable supply chain means that we need to make fabric buys that are 8 and 10 and 12 months out so that we can continue to provide that. There are two different approaches to participating right now. One is to do what can be done today, and the other is to look out ahead and be setting up and building an infrastructure that will be able to deliver products in October and in 2021, and that's what we're doing.
Governor, could I ask you a question?
I just want to ask Charlie one question myself that I think would be of interest to you guys. The sewing machines. How many different places have those sewing machines?
those sewing machines. Last year, pre-COVID, we shipped to 87 countries.
This is, I mean, there's a bunch, these guys are a very diversified company. So back to your question, Steve, you know, they sell one of the primary products that they use to all kinds of other people, all right? So that's part of their income statement and part of their balance sheet. They also make a lot of other kinds of materials and gear for lots of other kinds of industries and enterprises that don't have anything to do with this issue associated with what they're doing here for us. And the other thing I would say, and I probably did a bad job of articulating it before, because they have been in this business for so long, or because they make one of the key products that's associated with delivering this, which is the sewing capacity, they're really smart about how to actually create the product itself. And when you start talking about that whole issue about being able to do the seal on 6 at once, I mean, that's got to change to some extent the cost of the actual cost of manufacture, which doesn't come out of the wages you're paying anybody. It just means you can do it a little faster than you might be able to do it if you use the traditional process. So I fully believe these guys will be playing in this space for a long time, and it's going to be a great thing. And the final thing I'll say, and this one's really important, I don't want to get too close to you because we're not wearing any masks.
Yep.
It's not just that the supply chains seize up when you end up in a situation like this. The price you pay for whatever you get out of that supply chain is extraordinarily high. And it's extraordinarily high, A, because of the scarcity associated with being able to access the product, but it's also high because the cost of getting it from wherever it is to here is enormous, okay? Now, the cost of getting a product from here to any place in Massachusetts is profoundly cheap, okay? But the cost right now of getting that kind of a product from anywhere else in the world to the US and then to Massachusetts, very high. So, you know, there's a big net going on all the way through the manufacturing, the goods and the transportation piece that I don't think you can underestimate when you think about what these folks are going to be able to do on a steady state basis going forward and how that's going to work for people here.
Governor, could I ask you a